Okay, let me just tell you, welcome to the Hot Pass Podcast. First off, welcome. Subscribe, like, share, rate the podcast, wherever you get podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, so on. Okay, it's available Monday, Friday morning betting show on a weekly basis. Okay, for you guys, for your ears, all about NASCAR, what's going on in the news, anything like that, but mainly 99% of the time, NASCAR. Okay. If you guys don't follow me on my Action Network at this point, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Okay, go to the link tree in my bio on my Instagram or my X at @furlongeric_. I mainly post on Instagram, and then the next one would be X that I mainly post on. But go to the Action Network, download the app. It's not a sponsor, and just hit follow. Because last night, we're going to be talking about this guy. First off, right away, the poll bets. Now, I posted on my Instagram. I posted on my X. I told you guys yesterday that I would post later on in the day or whatever about my qualifying bets. Now, we took Alex Bowman, Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, Kyle Busch, right? Posted about that. But then I went last minute. I found a really good line. All the other books had either 12-1, 13-1 on this guy. If you watched qualifying last night, you already know who I'm talking about. If you follow me on my social media, you already know who I'm talking about. And that's Joey Logano. Every other book had him at 12 or 13-1. And then quickly, BetMGM had the wildest lines just because they had Kyle Busch at 30-1 or whatever. Was it 30-1? And I'm like, dude, just disrespect. He ends up making it to the top 10 in qualifying. I'm like, okay, cool. I could tell he didn't have the speed. Austin Dillon also made it. But Joey Logano at 16-1. I'm like, all right, we're going to sprinkle 0.75 of a unit on there to cash out really big. And we fucking hit. It was never in doubt. After he made his lap, now I got a little hesitant when Michael McDowell laid down a fucking lap. If you guys weren't watching it, qualifying was going well. Chase Elliott ended up making it in the top 10. I was like, okay, maybe he possibly can pull out something. Kyle Busch made it up there, and then the other bets kind of just fell to the wayside. But everybody was super high on SHR. I just went, I just don't think they're going to make it. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm going to take Joey Logano. Fuck it, man. We're going to have some fun. And if you could see it on YouTube right now, I'm a little late on uploading the YouTube videos. I'm one behind right now. So yesterday's episode's got to go up today. So, and then at some point today, I'm going to try and get the YouTube videos. I got to catch up. Okay. That's my bad. But if you guys can see right now, we've got, you probably can't see it on my waist. I got my pajama bottoms on. Why? And I'm in a sweater. I've got my one NASCAR tee on. You may be wondering why. It's because we're cashing bags and we can just relax, kick up our feet, enjoy the podcast, not being distraught that we lost money because we've been cashing bags. Joey Logano, we're up already for the week, plus 8.25 units. And then we got the duels tonight. We're going to touch on that at the end after all these drivers. So if you guys want my duel bets tonight, follow my Action Network. It's going to be very light sprinkles because some guys are going to be going for it. Some guys aren't going to be going for the win, such as Joey Logano. I don't think he's going to be driving very hard. Michael McDowell, they're already guaranteed locked up in the front row. And these are your Sunday cars. If you guys don't know for the duels, these are their Sunday cars, so you're not trying to smash them up. So Joey Logano and Michael McDowell are not going to be in the heap of it at the very end. But if you guys want to hear my duel bets, either follow me on my Action Network, but also I'm going to go into depth of who I'm taking at the very end of this podcast. So let's dive right in. Today we're going to be touching on Penske and Trackhouse. It's very quick breakdowns of the drivers. You guys already know we've cashed a bag on Joey Logano. That's where we're going to start. I'm not the biggest fan of Joey Logano. I think he's an asshole. I think he's a douchebag. But he's a good driver. Also very good at super speedways. He's been around for a while. He took over years ago. He took over Tony Stewart's spot after he left Joe Gibbs Racing and took over the 20 car at Joe Gibbs Racing with the Home Depot sponsorship. Was acting like a prick when he was younger. If you guys want to know stats, if you guys want to know how old he is, let me tell you real quick. He's 33. He's from Middletown, Connecticut. 6'2", actually very tall. Didn't realize that. He looks tall. Where if you guys know, a lot of these drivers are teeny little fucking babies. So he's about my height, my weight. Wow. We can fucking tussle. How about that? Like, share, subscribe if you want to see a tussle between Eric, the NASCAR betting god, versus Joey Logano. How about that? How about that? I fucking get you in the ring. We'll do a little rough and round, eat some Barstool shit, and fucking do a little face-off. Man, when it comes to his stats, unbelievable. Joey Logano is also a champion in the Cup Series. Has he won it twice? I can't remember off the top of my head. I know he's won it once. Yeah, he won it in 2018. I'm sorry, I'm just reading some stuff here. Long silence, my bad. I get in my own head sometimes. Yeah, second championship. Yes, I forgot. He did win it in 2022. How did I forget about that? It was the 2018 that I couldn't remember. But anyways, let's go back to Joey Logano here. He's been dominating. So he's got 2 championships. He's won a lot. And if you're going to be looking for somebody in the Daytona 500 to bet on, that'd be kind of the guy I'd be looking at as well. But I just don't like him, and it hurts me. At Atlanta, he won last year in Atlanta in the spring race, and that was the only win he got all year. Very good super speedway racer. So if you're looking at anybody or looking at somebody that nobody's ever really talking about, it's Joey Logano. He just had bad luck. NASCAR Xfinity Series, when he was in there, over 12 years, 176 races. He's got 30 wins, wild, 143 top 10s, wild, and 36 poles. So when it comes to qualifying on like super speedways and stuff, I definitely take Joey Logano. Last year, he just had a down season. We'll get into that in a second. NASCAR Cup Series career, 543 races over 16 years, which is kind of crazy to think that he's 33 and he's been in the Cup Series already for 16 years. Kind of wild. Some of these guys get in super, super young. He's got 32 wins, amazing. 20, and he's only 33, so there's more coming. 274 top 10s. This is like listing off Denny Hamlin shit, and 29 poles. Insane. Okay, he's got the Rookie of the Year in 2009 when he joined Joe Gibbs. I mean, it's just unbelievable, man. I just don't like his personality. I don't like his fucking goofy ass smile. I think he's a bit of a fucking prick, but don't mind me, and don't this is my personal thing. If you guys like the Pennzoil sponsorships, if you guys like Ford, if you guys like the Ryan Blaney and the Penske team, you got like a guy that's going to be competitive. Last year, just take that to the wayside. If you want a guy that's going to be a championship contender, if you want a guy that's going to grind it out and work hard, that's your guy. But the only thing is I've had a bad taste in my mouth of the shit that he's done to Matt Kenseth years ago. He's treating Ty Gibbs like he's a bully right now, right? And it's always put a bad taste in my mouth. He also feels like a silver spoon kind of guy. They didn't even really touch much on him in the Full Speed docuseries because I just don't think there's much personality. Like, he's got personality. I shouldn't say that. But yeah, he had a bad year. He was out in the first round. But I just don't think there's a lot to him, right? I did watch Media Day on Tuesday or Wednesday, and he's got some character. I just don't like it. It just seems like he's got a silver spoon stuck up his butt that he's gotten from his parents, right? But he's good on a lot of tracks, short tracks, mile and a half, super speedways, everything. So just road courses, man. But mainly, he's going to be in contention. As long as Penske can figure out this new Ford body, where obviously he qualified first overall, so that the new body has not hindered the Fords on qualifying at super speedways. Honestly, better than fucking Chevy, which is crazy. Harrison Burton even yesterday figured it out. So I think he's just going to do just fine. That's a guy that if you want to have some he's got popularity, he's really hated. So if you want to be a fan of him and you want to be at the track, you're going to get probably some fucking shit for being a Joey Logano fan. Let me just tell you. And my Home Depot jacket, a lot of people think it's a fucking Joey Logano jacket. Not a goddamn chance, son. Kind of shit. Who do you think I am? Unbelievable. I can hear the garbage truck outside, bro. All right. Ryan Blaney, we already know Ryan Blaney, champion from last year. First ever time winning the championship. 30, young man from Ohio. Handsome with the beard. It's shaved off now. I'm pissed. The girlfriend's pissed. She goes, Chase Elliott, hottest one in the NASCAR series. Ryan Blaney now, bottom tier. Unbelievable. Put the facial hair back on. We love it. He's 5'7", a tiny little feller, eh? If you see him, dude, he is he's 165 pounds. I'm thinking less than that because he's sopping wet. It looks like he's 140 pounds, looking like he's fighting against like Alexander Volkanovski on a good day. Okay. Man, that garbage truck louder than a motherfucker. If you guys can hear that, my bad, dude. He's banging and clanging. He must be right outside the house right now. You some bitch, eh? Fuck. All right, so yeah, Ryan Blaney, man, overall solid dude. You see him on the track. He's already a fan favorite. It's got to be him and Chase Elliott battling to be the NASCAR's favorite driver every single year. Because Ryan Blaney, when he won at the Coke 600 and he was having a bad 2 years or whatever without a win, the emotion, that like just how all no fans were leaving. Everybody wanted Ryan Blaney gets up into the crowd because Penske won the Indy 500 like the week before. It was a beautiful scene, man. And we all are fans of Ryan Blaney around here. If you're not, hop on that train, dude. You're going to be with a lot of other people. He's very popular. It's not like Chase Elliott, but he's very popular. But a great driver. Long lineage of racing. His grandfather raced. His dad raced in the Cup Series as well. And now he's won a championship. Unfortunately, his grandfather couldn't see it. Is now passed. Unbelievable, man. If you want me to go into his stats real quick, I'm not going to go into the lower tier series, but in the Cup Series, he's got 306 races over 10 years, 10 wins, 131 top 10s, and 9 poles. Now, those 10 wins I feel like should be higher. There's times where he's choked, but he also, when he got in the Cup Series, he wasn't in like a top tier team. So if I can find it here real quick for you. Yeah, he was with Wood Brothers from 2015 to 2017. Like, not a top-tier team. If you guys know or heard of them, Harrison Burton drives for them. Like, the only place they really show up is super speedways. So, I mean, wow. But when it comes to, he goes to Penske in 2018. Unbelievable. Did he win? Yeah, like he qualified well and did well or whatever. He won his first Cup race at Pocono after passing Kyle Busch in the 21. Oh, okay, so he won a race in the 21 with Wood Brothers, but then he moves to Penske, and then that's when it turns up, right? So those first couple years, or the first 2 years or whatever in the Cup Series, not very good, not much going on because of that. Because of the car is just terrible. So once he got to Penske, that's when the numbers start turning up. There was that 2-year lull that he did not win. And we were all like, when is it going to happen? It's going to happen at some point. And then he breaks through, and then he ends up winning the championship. And then we're all like, yo, Ryan Blaney. I don't have much else to say because I want this to be a quick video, or podcast. But Ryan Blaney, you just see the guy. Smile, laugh, have a good time. He's also friends with Ryan Blaney. He screams into microphones. He is a death metal guy. Follows the Iris Murder. If you've listened to the podcast in the past, one of the first episodes we touched on Ryan Blaney and Bubba Wallace. There's a video somewhere on the internet of Bubba Wallace playing the drums and Ryan Blaney screaming in the microphone like, and I'm like, fucking Ryan Blaney's the greatest guy ever. He follows the Iris Murders, one of my favorite bands, death metal bands of all time. We love Ryan Blaney. That's all I have to say. We're not statisticians around here. I'll say it again. Austin Cindric, we're not even going to really touch on him. He won the Daytona 500 in his rookie season, his first ever start in the Cup Series by crashing Ryan Blaney. So we all hate you. And he hasn't done shit since. I mean, he qualified very well. I think he qualified 4th last night or whatever. But I expect nothing. And if he wins the Daytona 500 this coming weekend, okay, cool. I have nothing to say. If you want to be a fan of Austin Cindric, go ahead. I don't think he's going to be in the Cup Series for very long. Okay, it's only because his dad works at Penske. Okay, sick. Let's dive into Trackhouse. I'm not going to touch too much on Daniel Suarez other than, man, when Daniel Suarez, I think he might be on the hot seat, I think, by the end of this year. He didn't qualify very well last night. He's won one race, and that was at Sonoma with Trackhouse. First year with Trackhouse. But other than that, really hasn't performed much. One thing that he has performed in, and I saw this in the stats, he's gotten lucky with performing well at Atlanta. So maybe we'll take like a top 10 or whatever in another week or so on him. But other than that, like, he doesn't perform well. Maybe he pulls out something because now they're bringing the stage cautions back at road courses. So I think he could perform well. But man, he's the only Mexican driver born in Monterrey, Mexico. The fandom for him with Mexican people is insane. At the Clash, he was performing in the Mexico series as well. But anytime he goes to California, the Mexican people show up. Sonoma's, I think, on the northern end of California. They fucking show up, dude, in droves. And it just felt appropriate that when he did win at Sonoma, it just felt right? There's nothing against Daniel Suarez. I think he's a great driver. I wish, to be honest, there's a lot of money to be made in the Cup Series. I get it. But I would love to see him in the Xfinity Series while he's still young. He's 32. And fucking dominate down there, dude. I think he would do fantastic in the Xfinity Series. I think he would get a good ride down there. I just would like to see him down there. I'm a fan of him. If you guys want to be a fan of him, he has got the best personality. If you ever go to a track and see Daniel Suarez and go up to him, I've never met him, but I've known people that have met him, and just seeing him online, he's like the nicest fucking dude. Some of the nicest people I've ever met are Hispanic people. Definitely Mexicans. Like, they are the most loving, caring, hardworking, just loving people. I'll keep saying that. It's unbelievable. And I love Daniel Suarez. I just want the best for him. And I think the best for him would be to go to the Xfinity Series. He won it in 2016 in the championship. He won the championship in 2016 in the Xfinity Series. But, like, I just want him to keep, like Kaulig. He used to drive for Kaulig down in the Xfinity Series. Like, if you went back down to Kaulig, because Kaulig's having hiccups, and went down to the Xfinity Series, I think you would help him. But I'm just some random dude talking on a podcast. So keep listening to the podcast at @FurlongEric_ on all social media. Now let's talk into the dog, the big dog, Ross Chastain. Ross Chastain is going to have he had a breakout year over a year ago in 2022, winning Talladega, winning at Coda. I think it was Coda. He won that Nashville last year, had a bit more of a quiet season, but he started off hot, causing a lot of issues with people, punching people like Noah Gragson, right? And got the Busch Light sponsorship. I think he's got Wendy's now as well. I think it's going to be the year, dude. 22-1 on DraftKings for the championship. Telling you right now, this man's the next Dale Earnhardt. It came from a watermelon farm. If you haven't seen the Full Speed docuseries, please go watch it. It's beautiful. They do a great thing in touching on him, how hard he worked, how hard he's worked to get to this point. He was gone to he grew up about 3-4 hours south of Daytona. Would only really get to go to one race, and that was the Daytona 500. He would go camp there, come back and work on the watermelon farm. They call him the Watermelon Man. He hauled the wall, if you haven't seen it, at Martinsville in 2022 to make the championship for a clip that went viral. This is the guy that people don't like, Ross Chastain, but this is the guy, I'm telling you, that's going to fucking change NASCAR and get the light, and he's got the personality. They're making rule changes to tracks because he finds loopholes in every fucking track he goes to, okay? Yes, is he fucking get in his head and drive hard on people? Yeah. Did he fucking screw up everything at Darlington and fuck my bets up, taking out Larson and himself? Yes. Does he have passion for driving? Hell fucking yeah, and that's the shit I like. He's a blue-collar man, as I talked about SHR. He's a blue-collar guy, grew up, fought through the Xfinity Series, thought he would never get a fucking chance at the Cup Series, a full-time chance, and now Trackhouse found the talent, found the sponsorships to get him behind him. He's got Busch Light, he's got Wendy's, he's got a bunch of other sponsorships, that Moose sponsorship that he won at Talladega, that was on his car at Talladega when he got the win there. Great. One thing I have to say about Ross Chastain, and this is I'm biased because I'm a fan of Ross Chastain, big fan. Is that he's low-key a good super speedway racer. He's got caught up in wrecks. He's a little too aggressive, right? This is what I'm talking about, is he gets very aggressive and in his own head. He also won the championship race. I'm all over the place, but he did win the first time ever since they moved to the way that the championship format is now. He's the first ever one to not be in the championship four and win the final race of the year. So just want to say that. But Ross Chastain, I can't remember where I was at, but he's just a very aggressive, but he's a very good super speedway racer. He was making moves at Talladega. Ricky Stenhouse stutters his fucking fuel because he's low on fuel, and early on in the race, in the fall Talladega race, fucks him up. Ross Chastain qualifies well and gets out front in Atlanta all the time. I'm going to be taking him next week for sure as a sprinkle, just because when I go to races in person, I bet on my favorite drivers that are usually good on the at those tracks, but I try and bet on them so that if they do win and I'm a fan, I cash out. Ross Chastain, I think, is going to have decent at Daytona. It's tighter. It's not even remotely the same thing as Atlanta, but it's tighter. Do I think he's going to win the Daytona 500 at some point? I think so. I think it's going to take some time. He's got to get to learn to not be so aggressive. You really got, and Kyle Larson's the same way. That's why he hasn't done well, is you get so aggressive and in your head. And you get caught up in the wrecks. But I think when it comes to like races like Talladega, and it's just wider, you have more space to make those aggressive moves. So I would take more Ross Chastain at Talladega. He's going to perform on 1.5 miles. He's going to perform on short tracks. He's going to do well at road courses. Ross Chastain, big year. If you want to get the coolest fucking sponsorship gear, go to the Melon Man brand and go to Ross Chastain's fucking website and look for the Busch Light stuff. Look for his Melon brand. It's unbelievable, the shit that they're putting out. And I'm hoping at the track, at the haulers for Trackhouse Racing, they step up their gear this year since they have Busch Light. I hope they have a new wrap on it, because a lot of their stuff, it was very limited on good stuff. The only thing I ever really liked was the one shirt that I have. And then they have always the watermelon Melon Man flag. And maybe we'll get that to put up behind here, but Dale Sr.'s behind me. So I'm a favorite. I love Ross Chastain. We're not going to really touch on Zane Smith. He is technically a part of Trackhouse Racing. He's loaned over to Spire. He's a rookie. I don't think he's going to do too much, but we're going to go to my Action Network, listen to the Friday. Okay. Let's reset. We're getting ahead of ourselves. We're getting crazy. We're stuttering over words. Let's just settle the fuck down. We're getting excited. We're all over the place talking about Ross Chastain. We got excited. We got excited because we're excited for and pumped and amped up for what Ross Chastain is going to do this year. But we need to just take a step back and just gather our thoughts. Okay? You guys ready? I hope so. You know what? I fucking lost it. Dude, this is why I'm fucking nuts. This is why I'm nuts. No, Zane Smith, he's on loan. But we're not really going to touch on him much. I don't think he's going to do very well. I think that we're going to take a bet on him though tomorrow. So this is what I was going to say. Listen tomorrow, the Friday morning betting show. We're not going to have an episode on 2311 until Saturday. If I can make sure I get that out for you guys, because I will be camping out for sneakers Friday night. The truck races will be watched out in a parking lot, camping out for sneakers for Saturday morning. It's going to be a long camp out. We're going to sit in our car all night, and then when people start showing up, we're going to go out and we're going to stand in the cold. It's going to be freezing. It's going to be -7 Celsius. It's not very cold. It's not too cold, but it's cold. Anyways, the Friday morning betting show is going to be out tomorrow morning, obviously. It's going to be a long one. Gear up. Make sure you have either a laptop, a notepad, or to write down all of my Xfinity and truck bets. We're going to pump them out. I'm going to take a lot of them tonight. We're going to touch on my dual bets in a second. But we're going to touch on all the Xfinity and trucks and any last-minute NASCAR Cup Series bets I'm going to take. One will be on Zane Smith. One book has top 20s. You're going to want to listen to that tomorrow. Please go check it out and like and rate and share the podcast. So let's quickly dive into my picks for the duels tonight. It's going to be very quick. Some of these guys, like Michael McDowell and Joey Logano, as I said, don't have to rate. This is not their really qualifying because they qualified in the front row last night. They're guaranteed that front row spot. So do not bet on Michael McDowell and Joey Logano. I do not think they're going for the win. If they do, I'd be absolutely shocked to even see that, only because you're really putting yourself at risk. They're going to hopefully stay in the back of the pack, let these other drivers battle it out. Where your finishing position is in the duels, it's choosing your outside spot or your inside spot depending on the duel race, and wherever you finish in that duel race is your qualifying spot. So it's going to be chaos, right? You want to get closer up to the front. Some guys, their strategy is to hang out in the back, but you do get a win, you do get a trophy for this. So duel 1, there's 2 duel races. Duel 1, my longer shot is Corey LaJoie. He has the second best average behind Ryan Blaney on super speedways. Yes, he's never won before, but it's going to come, and Corey LaJoie plus 2,500 is a good line. Now, this is all on Bet Rivers. This is the only book at the time of recording this has any numbers available right now. So that if you find something better, go bet that. But plus 2,500 for Corey LaJoie, a guy that's really good and shown, the only time he's ever really shown anything is on super speedways. Eric Jones moving to Toyotas now, qualifying. The Toyotas look slow, but in this group, and I think it's in Duel 1, there's a lot of Toyotas. They have so there's going to be a lot of people to be drafting with. Eric Jones has won on super speedways. He's won the summer Daytona race before. He's been close at Talladega multiple times. That'll be coming in April. We're obviously always betting on Eric Jones. Toyota's never won in a Gen 7 at a super speedway, but with the nose, how it's flat now, I've touched on it. I think they're going to be better at pushing and drafting. So obviously they did not bring the speed in qualifying last night, but they have different setups for qualifying to just lay down a lap. They switch it up for when you're in the draft. So Eric Jones plus 1,600, and then Chase Elliott plus 750. I think that's probably going to be the best line you're going to find. Take it right away. Now, remember, these are the duels. The odds aren't as inflated. Just sprinkle on it. I'm going to take a unit, whatever your unit allocation is, and just sprinkle it across like 3-4 guys. It's not going to be insane, crazy profits, but we save that for trucks, Xfinity, and mainly the Cup Series. So just take a small amount of money and just sprinkle it across and enjoy the race, and it'll make it exciting. If you cash 50 or $100, unbelievable, right? That's extra money in your pocket. So remember, you have a second race to make that money back if you don't hit on the first one, right? But this is why you take it small in the duels. You don't know how a guy's strategy is going to be. Some guys care about winning it, some guys don't. But I think the next duel race, I feel pretty confident on 2 of these guys. So the duel race number 2, I think all the coverage starts at 7 o'clock tonight. But duel 2, Justin Haley, 33-1. He's a good super speedway racer. He's won so many in the Xfinity Series. He technically won the summer Daytona race with a rain, because of rain coming or whatever a couple years ago. And 33-1's great. He shows a lot of speed. He's got a lot of talent. That Rick Ware racing vehicle showed some speed last night too. So I really do think the 33-1 is a solid number. If you compare it to the lines in the Duel 1 on Bet Rivers, guys like Zane Smith and BJ McLeod are at like almost the same number. I go, okay, give me Justin Haley, just a wee sprinkle, and if he wins it, unbelievable, because it's just big for him, right? I think he's gonna go for the win, mainly because it shows that his move from Colleague to Rick Ware Racing was the right move. So I think that he's going to be pushing and making a lot of moves. And you guys know he drives I think it's in a Chevy, as well, Rick Ware Racing. So there's going to be a lot of Chevys in each duel. Bubba Wallace, now there's not as many Toyotas, I don't think, in this one. I think maybe one less than the Duel 1. But Bubba Wallace is a super speedway guy. If you guys go follow me on my social media, @FurlongEric_, you guys would see the video I made about Bubba Wallace. He's going to be good. He's going to be battling up front. He's finished second twice in the Daytona 500. It's this time. get the dual race win, and then fucking go to Sunday with confidence and get that Daytona 500 win, baby. And then the leader of all leaders that is going to win the Daytona 500. I put a lot of money. I might even put more on Brad Keselowski to fucking win the Daytona 500. I'm tired of not seeing this man win the Daytona 500. I think he's led the most laps at Daytona. Definitely out of all the drivers, right, so like that are still driving in the Cup Series, he's led the most laps out of all those guys. So Brad Keselowski plus 750. That is going to definitely be the best line. Maybe you'll get a plus 800. I fucking doubt it. Plus 750. Go. Don't hammer it. Sprinkle it. I'm taking 3 drivers for each one, and I'm just going to sit down, have a drink, and enjoy watching the race. Brad Keselowski plus 750 is great. If you guys want to take, I think it's the other duels, Chris Buescher in there. He's very good as well, but I think the king, Brad Keselowski, is going to get it fucking done. All right. Those are my fucking odds or my betting for the duels tonight. Starting at 7 p.m. as all the coverage. I think it should be on TSN here in Canada, and it's probably gonna be on like FS1 or something like that or whatever in the States. If you're that person in Brussels, I have no idea where you're gonna watch it, but get one of those illegal boxes and fucking watch it, baby. All right. Shouts out to you guys. Thanks for listening. I know we're not diving into the most detail of all these drivers. But I'm hyped up on a couple of them, and I'm giving you my opinion on them, right? If you like the devil, you like Hail and Satan, you go for Joey Logano, you like Ty Gibbs, blah, 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 blah. That's been the podcast. Like, share, rate, follow, everywhere on my social media at @FurlongEric_. Go to the Hot Pass Podcast on YouTube. Go to the link tree on my Instagram and my X, and give the Action Network a follow. All my social media is all in that link tree. Go to my TikTok at @FurlongEric_ and follow on there as well. We need to get more followers on everything. I'll do a giveaway when collectively across all social media I have 1,000 followers. Okay, we'll do a giveaway of one of my fucking NASCAR tees. All right. Shouts out to you guys. I love you. Show your friends the podcast. It's the Daytona 500 weekend. Speed Week continues. Trucks tomorrow night, and then fucking Xfinity Saturday. Daytona 500 Sunday, and we have our betting show tomorrow. So I love you guys. Have a great night or a great day, night, whenever you guys are listening to it. And we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. All right. See you.